In Activity 12, What's Your Weather Like?, students bring together all they have learned in the module. Students first observe short and long-term weather changes on the class weather data chart and then discover relationships among the various weather factors. You will need the following materials from the kit: Activity Sheet 12, envelope from Activity 11, and the weather data chart from Activity 11. To prepare for the activity, make a copy of Activity Sheet 12 for each student. To begin the activity, have the students gather in front of the class weather data chart. Ask students, what weather factors have we observed and recorded during the past few weeks? Students should respond air temperature, air pressure, change in air pressure, wind direction, wind strength, humidity, cloud cover, cloud type, and precipitation. Inform students that in this activity, they will look at the changes in all these factors they have observed during the course of the module and will try to identify patterns they can use to predict the weather. Next, instruct the class to compare the air temperature and air pressure data. Ask students, do you see any connection between the two? Students should notice that when the air temperature goes up, the air pressure goes down, and when the air pressure goes down, the air temperature goes up. Have students compare the data for air pressure, cloud cover, cloud type, and precipitation. Then ask students, do you see any connections or patterns here? Accept all reasonable answers. Students should note that when the air pressure drops, the weather becomes cloudy and perhaps stormy. Tell them that meteorologists often refer to storms as depressions, meaning areas of lowered air pressure. The students should note that when the air pressure rises, the weather is fair. They may note that at higher pressures, cumulus clouds are observed more often than stratus clouds are. Next, have the students compare the data for air temperature and weather conditions for certain patterns. They may realize that a rise in air temperature is sometimes associated with precipitation. Then invite the students to compare wind speed and wind direction with all the other factors and see if they can find any connections or patterns. Students should discover that winds always blow from areas of high pressure to areas of low pressure. Generally, prevailing westerly winds bring changing weather. However, these results will also depend on location, as does the direction of prevailing winds. Next, ask students, during the course of our weather observations, what short-term changes in weather did we witness? Answers will vary, depending on the data. Then ask students, what weather factors are we likely to see during a storm? Again, answers will vary. Students will probably respond that we're able to see total or near total cloud cover, heavy precipitation, high winds, and low pressure. Ask students, what weather factors are we likely to see when the weather is fair? Students might say that we can see clear skies, cumulus clouds, no precipitation, light winds, and high pressure. Make sure the students keep their eyes open for other interesting combinations or patterns. Next, ask students, during the course of our weather observations, what long-term changes in weather did we witness? Students' answers will depend on the data. For example, in autumn, temperatures will generally drop, and in the spring, they will generally rise. Then ask students, what do these long-term changes indicate? Students will understand that they indicate the changing seasons. Finally, distribute the journal envelopes and give each student a copy of Activity Sheet 12. Review the questions with the students and have them work in teams of 2 to complete the exercise. You will need to take the students outside for question 2 of the activity sheet. If you wish, have them continue to track the weather throughout the rest of the year. Also, periodically discuss with them the interactions of various weather factors. To conclude the activity, have the students disassemble their wind strength instruments and wind vanes. Return the cloud chart, table tennis balls, beads, dowels, and paper clips to the kit. The students may keep their data sheets. The weather data chart should be left up as long as it is being updated. For science background, reinforcement activities, curriculum connections, and information about the Delta Science Reader, please consult your DSM Teacher's Guide.